Very good morning. Today, we are happy to inform you all that today we are going to conduct an international conference on innovative management practices during pandemic and role of CSR. In this regard, my topic of discussion is very much clear. What I'm trying to say you is in this pandemic situation, there is a need to highlight certain topics which are the need of the hour. Something we have to concentrate on management consortium as well as the management international conferences. The topic itself is very important. We, being a management guy, students, the teacher, and the people really has to have something related to uh, finding out certain issues which are based on our innovative practices. Let's move on something to highlight on this particular what exactly we are thinking on innovative management practices during pandemic and role of CSR. We all know that management is very important aspect in today's scenario, and whatever the organization, be it group, individual, corporate, or wherever we are associated, there is a need to have a kind of rapid action. That rapid action will come only through an innovative ideas. So far as innovative idea is concerned, which also concerned with the management practices. So what are exactly the practices it's needed? What I have considered it something with practices related to the CSR role. First, we have to highlight on innovative management practices. What exactly innovative novelty? Novelty will come out only through we must have a kind of ethical thinking, ethical uh, visualizing, and ethical visualizing and thinking will only come through if we are having our God fearing capacity in our conscious. This is very important in terms of applying innovative practices in management. Next important thing, what I have considered to some extent in present scenario and present pandemic situation, welfare conscious and effective governance. This is also most important thing. People are dying, people are moving ahead, and we must have to concentrate on conscious effort with effective governance system when and where what exactly to the tune of need is there we must have to provide immediately without even a bit of delay. This is what exactly things are important. Simultaneously, we have seen that how has happened in the past history uh, when things happen like in trouble time. So we have observed and we have studied that an efficient and effective government in the past has had a credible role due to the presence of the quality leaders who were God conscious individuals. These all play very important role, not only in a particular organization, particular system, or particular places. Apart from that, what innovative management practices during the pandemic is needed, uh, this also apply to the person, those who are involved in organization, be it individual or in group or in very big corporate giants. So they must have to concentrate on employing the right people with a strong moral character because in trouble times people need rapid action without delay anything something has to do that. So it needs, people should have a God-fearing, uh, without having fear psychosis and all. And we must have to concentrate on employing the right people for the right direction, for the right approaches with a strong moral character. This is the very, very important. Do things something with having some fear, God-fearing. If we do something like, so the people can get something immediately according to the need. Uh, Similar, a sense of accountability. Each and every person, those who are involved in particular section of society or individual, any places, they must have to feel themselves as a sense of accountability. This is very, very important. And placing them in the right, the organization head and the governance is needed to put people for the right position, uh, to the right decision. And then only an effective management principles can be implemented. Apart from that, what something more is leaders. As we all know that leaders are known as a legend. If we concentrate over the leader, uh, those who can play a creative role, an effective and efficient organization, we must have to concentrate over that. So effective leadership and effective and efficient organization play a very important role under the innovative management practices. Apart from that, strategies there is needed, something to organize and ensure to the tune of need. That's what, because the people survival are at a stake, so they need something to get things according to the need, in the limited hour. This all things are very, very important in the face of any crisis occur. Apart from it, something wherever we need a novelty to apply the managerial point of view, there is something more is needed under the innovative management practices, uh, that is adherence to religious texts and practices. That is not need a kind of doing something more if we are unknown about new things. So we must have to do a struggle, do kind of istihad, the kind of do practices something to reach out to the people and finding out certain uh, close concern with the novel people and get things done. Apart from that, something more is needed, that we must have to share our mission, vision, and the values. Because unless until we keep sharing something else uh, to across the society, across the people, across the globe, so hardly the people know what exactly we are, what we are concerned with, and what we are moving ahead. Similar things after character building is also very, 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 very important. God will not change the condition, because any individual, what things are important, something else. God will not change the condition of the people until they change it themselves. This is what in the holy book of the Quran is already being told, that in every individual, by character, they must have to expose themselves, like whatever we are doing for the largest interest of the society, without having any kind of our self-conscious something like what we are doing, something to expose ourselves. So we must have a kind of doing something like for to do something for the larger interest of the society and as a whole. Apart from that, putting the right people in the right place. Do not nominate them officers on account of favoritism or egoism. These two things are very important, something like attributes and reflect injustice and treachery. These must not be confined in this particular. We must have to concentrate on that, so that innovative and novelty will come out. Apart from it, innovative management style can also play an important role in the form of permanence and dynamism. Because unless until we expose our dynamism, it hardly can be an effective tools. It is also a documented fact based on practices, innovation in the management system that they introduce were an ongoing process. It must be that whatever we are doing, we must have to have something not like as a principles, rather to practice. Something more innovative management style is confined to building human relation, because there is a need something to provide the people needy deserving as and when it required. We must have to keep applying something innovative idea uh, based on something related to leadership and management system uh, with honest and entrepreneurial dealing to ensure an environment of trust, stability between the all parties involved, especially the head of the state and the governors in the various provinces, as well as the uh, as well as between the governors and the people. In present scenario, we have observed that hardly in the form of some federal exposure of the managerial style, we are not able to collaborate very efficiently and minutely. So there is a need to do something stable involvement, and especially with collaboration of state and the governors of the various provinces, as well as between the governors and the people. Model of justice, tolerant and selective adaptation is also needed are, because hue and cry may come and hardly the people will be in a position to do something for the righteousness act. Something more is apart is needed, like innovative management style, that is decision making process through consultation and empowerment. This is also very as we all know that in the old style of the management, it still is there. Workers participation in management is very important. Those who are involved, we get in touch with the people, those who are in particular known to this particular aspects. So we must have to get in touch with those people and keep concentrating and keep controlling over it. These all part what so far we have discussed, these all things related to the in general perspective of the novelty. But apart from that, first something more is needed to apply in the form of uh, CSR practices. So let's have a look on this innovative management vis-a-vis CSR practices, or what exactly is need at this present scenario. As we all know that CSR is a broad concept that can take many forms depending on a company and its industry. Through CSR programs, it carry philanthropy and volunteer efforts. Businesses can benefit the society while boosting their brands. And CSR, also known as a sectional study, which involves qualitative analysis of the CSR practices followed by companies operating in India, studying deployment of the CSR practices over the last few years. So in general term, we have already have like philanthropic kind of works has been um, done by the different corporate sectors. As when we go to study about the CSR, what exactly when it started. So in the world, Hawthorne experiment by the G Electric Chicago based was first the company who has introduced this concept of the corporate social responsibility through their live interactive session with the employees, and applied it all over well. And before there was no any kind of people in Hawthorne experiment got like people were not in a position to have a kind of interactive and have enjoyment of social justice or any vacation or any holiday, any kind of this hardly they were just feeling. So after that study, the welfare officer were um, appointed, and since then a concept of the CSR has been generated all over the world. After independence in India, JRD Tata who always laid a great deal of emphasis to go beyond the conducting themselves as honest citizens, pointed out that there were many ways in which industrial and business enterprises can contribute to public welfare beyond the scope of the normal activity. So we have already seen that in India, the CSI in the form of social audit, the program has been introduced firstly by the JRD Tata. In 20th century, it was also witnessed a swing away from charity and traditional philanthropic towards more direct engagement of the business in mainstream development and the concern for disadvantaged groups in the society. Since when we look towards the trends in India, how the CSR so far has happened. So, since the applicability of mandatory CSR provision in 2014, the CSR spending more corporate India has increased significantly. According to a survey, companies spent 47% higher in 2018 than in 2014-15 and contributed 1 billion, around 7,400 crore to CSR initiative. So this is a kind of application which have been as a witness to see how the CSR play a pedantic role in order to carry out as and when it required in troubled times. Listed companies in India has been so far spent 10,000 crore in the various programs ranging from educational, skill, social welfare, healthcare, environment conservation. CSR role during troubled times can be considered as a global pandemic by the World Health Organization. COVID-19 has been considered as a global pandemic by the World Health Organization. The contagious disease tremendously disrupted socio-economic circumstances of the planet, and as a result, we have observed so many people have been affected, and it's not people affected personally, rather they're associated, their business, their surrounding things also has been affected abruptly. COVID-19 pandemic represents one of the most significant environmental changes in the modern marketing history, which could potentially have a profound impact on corporate social responsibility. We have witnessed that there is a need something more to do justice in the form of people need after some emerging troubled times. The short-term impact of the COVID-19 is immediately and effortlessly been felt due to the widespread lockdown and social distancing measures globally. Uh, let's have a look on this. What are the impacts? So far as its impact is concerned, we have seen that its impact has been there in the market, in the society, as a people, as a patient, as a consumer. They all felt badly in the form of increasing uh, rate of price of medicine or its associated need of health care practices in the hospital or wherever is needed. Inevitably, crisis has put governments, group, individuals to put under action, test their absolute commitment to ethical business conduct in the CSR. This is the most, now the CSR role is very much confined and very much needed to do justice and ethically to apply and comply it very minutely and with full justice. A firm, genuine, and authentic CSR will build a stronger rapport among its customer and general public. In this regard, there is a need also to find out wherever the crises are there and uncertainty and something more, we must have to come out in the form of genuine leadership and play a key role to ease this trouble. The COVID-19 pandemic, as an unprecedented situational and contextual factor, has a significant implication for the understanding on consumer ethical decision making during the pandemic as well as potentially post pandemic in the long run. So if we not concentrate on this particular to ease this problem, so hardly we can just face any ever growing challenges. At the end, what we can say that the pandemic things offers a great opportunity for firms to actively engage in the various CSR initiatives during the crisis and potentially catalyze a new era of CSR development in the long run. And for the consumer, those who are known as patient in the hospital, those who are affected with the COVID-19 needs ethical dimension of the consumer decision uh, to uh, make out something to shift towards more responsible as well as the pro social consumption. So this all play an important role in the form of something concentrate on that. With this word, uh, I hope that whatever we have discussed, certainly it will give an icon and a light for us to apply in this present scenario. Thank you.